Moonlight shining through the trees, moonlight shining down on me, lights the way for lovers in the dark. Moonbeams dance on rain-drenched trees, sparkle for our eyes to see. Moonlight shine on down and shine on me.
Not perfectly rehearsed, but you get the idea. Blaze Foley's Moonlight song. I love this song. I learned it a long time ago and would strum it and sing. I sing it a lot, actually. I sing it to my kids a lot. They know the lyrics too. So I decided to really learn every single note in there. So in this tutorial, you will get all the nuanced Foley notes. And then I slow it down at the end of the video. So at the beginning, that's not the actual song, right? I'm a little more loose, kind of just playing off my head and doing it. And plus there's no capo on the actual recording. He sings real low. So the intro is just to give you a flavor of it, but go listen to the song if you don't know it. It's stunning. His guitar playing is brilliant. It's a great melody. Yeah, so let's do it. You're gonna learn a lot from this one, I promise. So it's worth your time if you like the song at all. In this song, I'm pretty sure Blaze is using a flat pick. A flat pick is a fancy word for regular pick. You sound cool when you say it though, flat pick. I would recommend that, using a pick. I'm gonna use my fingers just because I use my fingers almost all the time now. But most players who would play in this kind of style use a pick. It's just got a little bit of a crisper, cleaner sound and a bigger attack. Where the fingers, it's a little more gentle. Whatever you want to do, it works. You're your own player, you got your own style, whatever you feel like doing. In this tutorial, I'm going to say pick when I refer to hitting just one note. And then strum is when you're hitting more than one note. And I'll say down up for the strums. Now, whether you're using your pick or your fingers, the pick would just mean the single note with your thumb and then down up. I'm using my index finger when I do the strum without a pick. Down up, really gentle down up. And if you're using a pick, down up would just mean down up. Let's do it. First measure, we've got a C chord. We're picking the 5th string. Down, up, down, up. And I'm doing the down, up on maybe just the top 3 strings, top 2, top 3. What you definitely don't want to do is you don't want to pick the 5th string and then strum the 5th again. That defeats the whole purpose of this style. This style is cool because you get that long boom. And you're hearing that pick note ring out over the strummed chord, which makes it sound so beautiful. We've got the 5th string, down, up, and then the 3rd string, down, up, down, up. And this is going to be one of those songs where you can set your metronome slow, but not a metronome, even better. Go to YouTube, find a nice, slow, cool drum beat. And remember, this song's in 3/4 or 6/8, right? Boom, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So find a drum beat. Just go to YouTube, 3/4 drum beat. Start at, 80 BPM. I don't know what would be a good speed for you. And you just want to make sure that that is very smooth and relaxed because the whole song is based on this idea. So you want to make sure you just got the basics down there before we move on, because it only gets trickier. So that should be really easy for you. I'll give you an example with a pick here. So again, when I hit that 3rd string, most of the time I'm really only hitting the top 2. If you hit the 3rd again in there, it's okay, but you really want that to sound like its own separate note. So it's louder than the strum, right? Even if you accidentally hit the 3rd string, you always want that first one to be nice and loud, because it sings out over the accompanied strum part. This measure is excellent. I'm just going to give you the thumb parts first. We have a hammer from 2 to 3. So we're on that C chord, but we're lifting our third finger, and we're going to hammer. We're playing the 4th string, and we're hammering 2 to 3. And then he's hitting the 3rd string open right after that. And then there's a strum in between there. A quick one. And then we do 3 to 2 pull off. So you play the 3 on the 4th string and pull off to 2. Oh, and that strum is an up, right? So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and hammer open, strum up, pull off. Hard to get that smooth, but work on that. So that whole intro. If you're getting a little buzz or you can't get that 3rd string to sound very good, that's kind of tricky. You got that hammer-on, which is a hard move. To make sure your hammer-on's not too sloppy, you might have that right if you're not hammering very accurately. This finger's probably getting in the way of your 3rd, so it's really a, you just have to be very attentive and focused on using your fingertips for that C chord. So that after the hammer, you still get a nice open G sound. Good news is, you worked hard on that part only to have it repeat here. So we're back to the C, just 5th string, down, up, exact same measure here. Whoop, hammer, open, up strum, pull off. And then back to a C, but it's a little bit different. So I'm on the 6th measure here. My lisp is ruining Mike's music method again. The 6th measure is 5th string, down, up, 3rd string open, down, or sorry, up. So 5th, down, up, 3rd string, up. 1, 2, and 3, and. In other words, just always think if it's an and beat, right? 1, 2, and, then the strum is always up. If it's a downbeat, the strum is always down. That's kind of your general rule of thumb. So 1, 2, 3. Measure 7, we're coming out of the C chord. We're going to put still a C chord, but the G's in the bass, moving that ring finger up. Make sure you're using your fingertip, and I'll tell you why in a second. We're picking that 6th string, down, up, still holding down a C chord, right? 6, down, up. Then your middle finger goes up to hammer open to 2 on the 5th string. Again, you want to make sure that 3rd finger isn't cheated down, otherwise that 5th string isn't going to sound terrible. So all fingertips. Then we're back to C again, same as the previous measure. 5th string, down, up, 3rd string, up. Then our ring finger goes back up, C chord with a G in the bass. 6th string, down, up, down. Here is the entire intro, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Feeling that this is one of these songs we could all walk with our entire lifetimes as guitar players. It seems pretty easy. It's just C, G, little hammer on in there. But to get the dynamic right, where you got the nice clean pick tone and this really gentle strum in between all of those picks, it's just great playing. So put some headphones on, listen to Blaze do it. It's really precise and beautiful, and now that you know how to play it, you'll have a new appreciation when you listen to it. So go slow, and it's also something that you can take, and you'll find it in the thousands of other songs, right? Pick, strum, pick, strum, bluegrass, country, folk, even some rock and roll tunes. So keep working on it. Take a simple progression that you like, that you came up with this week, and try this technique on it, whether it's minor chords or, we'll do it with whatever. All right, let's keep going though. The first 4 measures of the verse are really simple. We just got that C chord. We pick the 5th string, down, up, and then put the G in the bass with that ring finger. Pick, down, up, pick the 5th, back to the 6th. And with the words we have, moonlight shining through the trees. Now we've got an F chord, but we are actually barring these 2. Sometimes you don't have to do that, but here we need both of them. So we got 1, 1, 2, 3, thumb in the bass. If you can't do it that way, remember you can do this trick, bar chord, lift the pinky, drop the ring. It's going to be a little trickier to do the passage this way, but it's doable. So we've got this F chord, 6th string, down, up, 4th string, down, up. Then we have the 4th string open, and then up strum. So the first one's easy, 6, down, up, 3rd, down, up, 4th, down, up, then lift the 4th, up. So that tricky measure, 4th, down, up, and then 4th again, but open. Now that I've thought about it, if you can't do the thumb way, you can play a regular F. And then when you go to that 4th string, just go to that simple F. Like this, you don't even need a bar or anything. Alternative way to do it. I believe I gave you the measures wrong. It's twice as long. You got 6, down, up, 4, down, up, 6, down, up, 4, down, up. So you got 1 normal measure of F first. We'll put the lyrics in 1 second, but here we just go back to C. 5th, down, up, move it to the 6th. Just back to that. From the top of the verse, nice and slow with the lyrics. 1, 2, 3. Moonlight shining through the trees. Moonlight shining down on me. That's the way for lovers in the... Then we go to a G chord. We just need 6 and 1. Dog. So we have 6, down, up, 4, down, up. Here we go to a G7 chord. We strum all of them, right? He just interrupts it with this shocking full strum. Then the high ones are just down, up. Here's a little turnaround. That's kind of the halfway point of the verse. We're on a G chord. We just need this 3rd fret. Pick on the 6th, then we pick the 5th, and we up strum on the 2nd and 3rd string, and then we do the 2nd fret on the 5th string, and we up strum the 2nd and 3rd string. Pick up, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and so the first beat you don't strum on, but then you strum between the 2nd and 3rd, which is open, 2. We're getting there, halfway through the verse. All right, now the second half of the verse is pretty much the same. He does some extra notes in there. You certainly don't have to do those, right? He's just kind of spicing it up. You can keep it simple if this is already hard enough. And then the verse ends with a different cadence, so we'll get to that too. So here we're back to C. Similar idea, but instead of going down on the 2nd pick, he goes up. So we have 5, down, up, 3, down, up, kind of like the intro. 5, down, up, 3, down, up. Then he does it again, 5, down, up. But then here it's a little different, 3, down, up, 3, up. That's subtle in the recording, but it's clearly there. Now, I don't know if that was intentional or it's hard to know. You know, Blaze is a good player, but he also knows how he can vary it up. So maybe I'm getting a little too microscopically zoomed in, maybe. So, but again, the main idea, 5, down, up, 3, down, up, 3, up. Just a little more variation. We're back to our F chord. 6, down, up, 4, down, up, 6, down, up, 4, down, up, 3, different there too. Then he hits the third string open. So you lift the middle finger, and then you're only hitting the top two. And that. It seems kind of crazy that he would do that, but he did. Because if it was an accident and he hit the third string, it would have been the second fret. But he lifted that finger up to get that third fret. Blaze is excellent, right? Who would think to do that? Why is he putting this extra note in there? But he is, and he thought of it, and he took the time to vary it and make it a little more interesting and colorful. And they're like little hidden cherries. Is that what they call them, right? It's just like hidden things in video games that you find out about. Blaze is like hiding these little things for those with keen ears. You out there watching this video, you're gonna find Blaze's little hidden cherries. It's exciting. He's left treasure long after he's dropped dead. I think he was murdered. Wasn't Blaze murdered? Ugh. So that F one more time, the ending is 4, down, up. Lift the middle finger here and hit the third string. Up. So 4, down, up, open, third, up. That's it, smooth. We jump back to C, and we got 5, down, up, 3, down, up, 4, up. Again, a little extra color, very cool. So 5, down, up, 3, down, up, 4, up. Just a regular C chord. Then we go to a G. 6, down, up, 3, down, up, 3, up. 6, down, up, 3, down, up, 3, up. Then it's back to a C chord, and here's a turnaround. 5, down, up, to an F chord. 6, down, up, back to a C chord. 5, down, up, same turnaround. Let's do the second half of the verse from Moonbeam's Dance. I'm gonna do the walk, and then we'll start together on the C chord. 1, 2, and 3, and moonbeams dance on rain-drenched trees. Sparkle for our eyes to see. Moonlight shine on down and shine on me. Excellent job, you're doing so good. That's pretty much the song. The second verse is the same, then we've got this little musical interlude that happens that's a little bit different. We're going to talk about that now. And then a final verse. Really cool song, huh? This is way too low for me. So if you want to sing it, I'd probably, you know your own voice, but throw a capo on, it's probably going to be better for you. Unless you got a low voice like Blaze. But let's do the interlude. This instrumental break is awesome. Such cool guitar playing. You're going to have so much fun playing it. Let's learn it together. It's going to take a while to get it smooth, but when you do, you're like a picking expert. You're going to blow everyone's mind away when you learn this one. Let's do it. Check this out. This development is excellent. All he's doing is changing the note that he's picking and the time of when he picks it, and it's gorgeous. It just sounds lovely. I won't do it justice here, but let's do it slow. We got the first measure, just a basic C chord, but he's doing 5, down, up, 3, up. 5, down, up, 3, up. Then he hits the second string, down, up, 3, up. So 5, 3, 2, 3. That's what the thumb's doing with the strum in between. 5, down, up, 3, up, 2, down, up, 3, up. But to get that quick and to always hit the right string is going to take some practice. But I know you can do it, because you're awesome. Over here at Mike's Music Method, everybody can do it. Yes! If you're having trouble here, if you're maybe about to have trouble, remember the microscope analogy or metaphor. I don't know the difference between those two. But you've got your microscope, and if you're having trouble, there's no reason you can't zoom in, 50x, 100x, and find out exactly what the trouble is. You can say, oh, this whole bunch of measures, but it's like, no, what very specifically is tripping you up? So always practice very slow and take this smallest amount of music, even if it's just 2 beats, and figure out, zoom in, figure out where you're going wrong. Take that little phrase, do it over and over again, slowly. Make it a study piece, make sure you're breathing while you're playing it. Remember all those things. They're super important. That's what practicing is about. Zooming in, doing it right. Don't practice it wrong. I'm going to start repeating myself, but it's super important. So stop and do that and think about all those things. And then keep watching. We're still on a C chord. 5, down, up, 4, up. But when he does the up, he's putting his pinky down on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string to create a C7 chord. Now, it sounds like he's putting it down there, maybe at the beginning of the next bar. It's hard for me to tell. But we have pick, down, 5th, down, up, 4, up with the pinky down. And then right into the next measure, we have the 3rd string, pinky still down, up. Then we lift that pinky and play open, up. So that second measure, 3, down, up, then 3 again with your pinky lifted, up. So those 2 measures, 5, down, up, 4, up, 3, down, up, 3, up. That part's so cool and a little bit tricky that we're going to put it together real slow, those 4 measures. 1, 2, 3. That's so rad. Why is that so cool? I love that part. Yes! Oh, it sounds so good. It's so great. It's not crazy tricky, but it's just awesome right hand technique that instead of just strumming chords like Joe Schmo, you know there's that guy, the kid that you're jealous of who like plays all these pop songs at the campfire. And you're like, man, this guy, he's not even good, but he is kind of good. And you're like, oh, I can play guitar better than he can. And you definitely can, but he's like singing these pop songs everyone knows and just strumming. And you're like, he's just strumming. And so this is a great way, if maybe you're that Joe Schmo guy who's just strumming at the campfire, or maybe you're envious of him. I don't know which guy you are in this scenario, but you can improve that little strumming just by picking occasionally in there, in between the strums. Makes you a great, you go from being like average strummer to like doing something really cool, and it's not going to take you that much time to get there. And you can comment below and I'll give you encouragement, and so will other people, and you're going to get there real soon. I know it. Keep at it. Here we've got another great little trick on the F chord. We can just play it simple because we're not going to hit that low string. So we have 4, down, up, down, up. Then we're hammering onto the 3rd string. And then playing the 3rd string again. So open to 2 and 2. And I guess you can lift that 3rd finger if it's easier for you. Hammer on. And then 2 again. Then we strum up. Then we hit the second string and strum up. Hammer, note up. So pick with the hammer, pick up, 3rd up, 2nd up. That F together. Another bar of F, that's really cool. So just pick, down, up again. Then you can lift your hand, and he's got hammering on 2 to 3, open on the 3rd string. So the 2 to 3 was on the 4th string. And then open on the 3rd, then back to the 2 on the 4th, and back to open on the 3rd. Context. I'm still holding that finger down because you can let it ring a little bit. A little harder to not get it to buzz. Back to the C chord. 5, down, up, 3, up. 5, down, up, 3, up. Then another cool little part. He's just hammering on the 4th string, 2 to 3, 2 to 3 again, and then pull off 2 to open. So together, pick, down, up, pick up. So again, I'm letting that C chord ring from before while I do those hammer-ons and pull-offs. If it's too hard, you can lift that finger up, right, whatever your skill level is. And then we go to a G chord, pick the 6th string, down, up, down, up. Then we hammer on the 5th, open to 2. So 6, down, up, hammer on the 5th, down, up, 4, up. Back to a C chord with that same pattern. 5, down, up, 3, up, 5, down, up, 3, up, to an F chord. 6, down, up, 4, but 4 is open. Up, so 6, down, up, 4, up. Then back to a C chord. 5, down, up, 3, up, and then that same walk around. 6. Same one as before. And then he starts singing the third and final verse. So the song flow has been intro, verse 1, verse 2, then that instrumental break, and then we go back to a verse, and there's one little turnaround, and then you've got it. So after you've done the third verse in its entirety, moonlight shines on down and shines on me, and you have the walk. Then he sings it again. He goes to a C chord. It's a little more sparse this time. 5, down, up, 4, down, up. Then a G, 6, down, up, 3, down, up. Pretty easy so far. Then an F. It's all easy actually, so don't worry. 6, down, up, 6, down, down. There's no up on that 3 there, a little more sparse. 6, down, up, 6, down, down. And then it's just a C chord, 5 strum, then a G chord, 3 strum, C. With the singing, moonlight shines on down and shines on me. What a great song. Do you think when Blaze Foley was sitting in that weird treehouse thing that he lived in, under the full moon, picking this song, do you think he knew it was like a great song? And do you think he knew we'd all be sitting here learning it? That same song that the moon inspired him to write? Comment below. I'm always curious about these things. There's this, in that Beatles anthology, right, there's this moment where Paul McCartney is like playing Yesterday, and he's like telling George Harrison the chords on the fly. And I'm assuming, I don't know, but I'm assuming like George and John hadn't heard it at that point. At some point they didn't hear it, right? But Paul wrote it alone. And he brings it to the band. Well, I take that back. Paul, I'm convinced that their producer, George Martin, had a huge part in all their songwriting. But we can argue that another day. But just imagine you're John Lennon or George Harrison, and Paul comes in and he goes, oh, I got this song, you know, Scrambled Eggs, and he's playing it. And you're sitting there listening to the melody and the chord changes, and you know they have, you know, that the shiver down the spine moment, and George was just like, what? This guy wrote this song? Here he is, my buddy Paul. You wrote this song. How do you do that? So I wonder if Blaze had that moment where he's sitting there, maybe his like girlfriend or wife or whatever. What, do you have a girlfriend or wife or like some friend, you know, he's just picking away one morning or one night, and you think they were sitting there going, what? You? Like, Blaze, this loser guy right here that I know? Like, this is your song, you wrote this song. I wonder. Amazing, though. Great song. Let's do the whole thing from the top, nice and slow, starting with the intro. 1, 2, 3. Here's the entire verse. 1, 2, 3. Moonlight shining through the trees. Moonlight shining down on me. That's the way for lovers in the dark. Dance
and shine on me.
The second verse is pretty much identical with the first, you know, maybe an added note here and there, but I didn't even tab it out. Pretty much the same. And then we've got the instrumental break. 1, 2, 3. Then it's back to verse 3, and then we have our tag at the end, which we just did. So all of verse 3, and then back to the moonlight shining down and shine on me.
Mike's Music Method.